Hello and welcome to another episode of Quiarcus Unboxes. Today we are taking a look at Dungeon Saga, the Dwarf King's Quest by Mantic Games. Just come in the post and it is a monster of a box. Look at this thing. I shall try and stand it up here and... there we go, good lord, that's heavy. It is huge and I've actually got a Space Marine there. I'm tiny, help me! Look at the size of that thing. It is a pretty well designed box actually. So, Dungeon Saga, it's another one of these dungeon seeking games, these dungeon delving games. And this one is done by a company called Mantic, who are relatively new in terms of game companies. They have a lot of the old guys from Games Workshop over there. And they've been churning out some pretty good stuff. So, this was Kickstarted, I believe. I've just been able to get hold of a copy. I didn't back the Kickstarter. Cut open that lovely cellophane. There we go, trying to mark the box. I didn't get to back the Kickstarter, unfortunately. This has just arrived in China, so I know a guy who can get hold of these things for me. Sounds dodgy, but I'm assure you it isn't. It's all above board. Okay, so cellophane off. And I've actually taken the liberty of taking out the first layer. But on big empty box there, and that's what you get inside the box. Looks pretty damn cool, I love this. It's made out to be a faux book. There's the spine. Might look quite nice on a bookshelf, and I understand that all of the add-ons are going to be done in a similar style. So I'm going to take off this blanking bit here. There we go. And again you can see pretty good thick cardboard here. And let's lay this veritable tome of gaming down. Oh, it's heavy. And open up. What adventure awaits us, eh? So that is what you are greeted with. The rulebook. And let's just have a quick look. Not bad. 22 pages, an advert for Kings of War there. Nice, looks nicely laid out, nicely printed. Feels a little bit thinner perhaps than the Fancy Flight ones, but presentation looks quite good so far. Okay, what's next? What's this? The Dwarf King's Quest book. I'll get it right in a second. There we go. Another nice tome. This is obviously all the here we go, all the map layouts for the various encounters, bits about the heroes, etc, etc, etc. There you go. A bit of fluff there on some of the characters. Pretty cool. Another nice looking book. The artwork, I don't know, kind of harkens back to the days of Hero Quest, if you ask me. And then we've got the quick start guide, always handy in these kind of games. A little bit of a battering there. Oh, and look at this. Oh, there's the good stuff. There's an advert. We don't care about that so much, but look at all those lovely miniatures. Alright, let's get started, shall we? So, furniture. We'll have a look at all these in a little bit, properly. More in-depth look. Various skeletons and stuff. Looks like one of them might need some repair work. We'll have a look at that in a minute. More skeletons and zombies and all sorts of things. Good lord. There are our heroes. Doors, gates, etc, etc. Barrels and looks like treasure chest lids. Not very good our picture there, but I will show you these in more detail in a moment. Okay, some nice little cardboard inserts there. Keep things neat and tidy. Okay, a few dice, not too bad. I believe it's split up into hero and villains. There are the principal villains there, the main bad guys, and then we've got these are tile clips to keep the board together. The various cards, we'll have a look at those in a minute as well. Another bit of cardboard for the inserts. And we have the character sheets for both the heroes and the villains. A spare bag, obviously for tiles and such. And at the bottom here, this might prove a little bit tricky to get out by the feel of it. Yeah. So, a couple more big plastic bags there, and that last bit, of course, was all the cardboard. And have a look at the good focus there. Have a look at some of the details. It looks pretty nice, I have to say. Nice and well cut. There are the health trackers and such. And don't know what that one is on the back. I'll open these up in a minute and we can have a proper look. Okay, here we are with a look at the figures. So this first one up is the mage hero. As you can see, he's looking a little bit drunk. He's a little bit tilted sideways, but the quality looks quite good. The sculpt is nice. Detail seems nice and crisp. A few mold lines to clean up. But he will definitely have to take a bath in some hot water to straighten him out. And notice that they have put textured bases, which is quite cool. So not bad. So that's our mage. And we have a dwarf, because no party would be complete without a dwarf. And again, hammer is a little twisted. Something to sort out there. But again, nice clean lines on the sculpt. Nice and clear. And the elf, because no party would be complete without a female elf to fire arrows at stuff. Not saying anything but generic on the fantasy front, but hey, that's why we buy these games. They're quite entertaining in that regard. Good, nice sculpt. And our final one, the good old barbarian. There we go. Again, nice sculpt, beard. Axe is a bit silly, has some kind of horned skull on the back, but pretty good. Blue plastic, not sure how easy that's going to cover up. Feels a little bit greasy, probably need a bath to clean it up. For the villains, start off with the special villains. So we've got this giant zombie troll thing, who looks pretty damn awesome. Some really nice details there on him. Looks like it's going to be a really cool model to get into and paint if that's your thing. It certainly is mine. I do enjoy painting the board games, especially when they're this well produced. Next up is the Undead Dwarf King. See right through him there. Nice touch. Hammer is a little bit bent, but not too bad. Probably let that go. Or maybe I'll need to straighten it up. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Then, of course, we have the Banshee, who looks pretty stunning, I have to say. I like their spectral sculpts. And finally, the big bad Necromancer. Again, another nice sculpt. I like the touch of the skeleton being risen from the ground on the base in front of him. That's a nice little addition. Not much detail on the bad guy, on the main bad guy, which is a little bit, yeah, I suppose, that makes sense. He is a Necromancer, he doesn't have to be super detailed, does he? Yeah, looks pretty cool. On to the minions. Let's have a look. Let's start with the zombie. Now, this is where my problems start to come in with this set. As you can see, look at that lean. Now, this is undoubtedly because of the way the game is packaged. They have a lot of weight resting on the zombies, which is a shame. Well, on the miniatures in general. So I don't know if... I mean, wow. It's quite a severe lean. At first I thought it was part of the sculpt, but it doesn't appear to be. So I have to use some hot water to straighten him out and hope for the best. Because here is the other zombie. As you can see, he is quite upright. No leaning there. Right, there we go. We've got two more zombie-like creatures here. Possibly ghouls wielding bones. His partner is perfectly fine. And we've got two of these big fellows. I'm assuming more zombie trolls. And again, really nice sculpt. Not sure if all the details coming through because of the colour of the plastic they've used, but it's really nice miniature. But again, look, his one leg is off the ground. Looks like he's doing a little dance. Never mind. But two of these Dwarf Revenants. Quite nice models. Somehow retaining his beard even unto death. That's how much a beard means to a dwarf, I suppose. Good model though. Nice. Nice sculpt. And possibly my favourite models in the set actually. The ghosts are absolutely gorgeous. Lovely idea. Just floating around. Very ethereal. Nice one. And we've got two of these armoured skeletons. Kind of cool. Although on the one, the feather has actually broken. I'm going to have to fix that with some glue. Which is a bit of a shame. And then we've got a slightly less well armoured skeleton, but sword and shield. Still good enough. Nice miniature. Nice sculpt, like the way his trousers are just hanging onto his hip bones. And now the real problems. Oh no, just a second, one more. Skeleton archer. Looking awesome. Kind of cool there. Nice pose. Looks like he's holding his belt up though. Sure, that's not quite the intent they have. It does look like he's holding his trousers up. And now, where the problems really begin for me anyway. What am I meant to do with this? Is he reenacting Michael Jackson's Moonwalker or something? Smooth Criminal? No? Yeah. It's a lovely model. Very reminiscent of the old Hero Quest one, but his brother is even worse. I mean, seriously. What on earth, guys? If you're going to pack them in a vertical box, try and find some way to keep them safe from being squashed. Because this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hope that these respond to hot water. I really do. Because if they don't, I'm going to be kind of annoyed. And you can see it's happened to one of the skeleton archers as well. Look at that. A nice lean to him there. So that is something to bear in mind if you are buying this box game. It might be worth getting it from your friendly local gaming store, just so that you can perhaps have a look inside the box before you purchase it to make sure you get one where the pieces haven't been warped to heck and back. And finally, and most annoyingly, I have a skeleton without a base. Looked in the box, looked in the bags, there is no extra base, so I'm going to have to make one up or contact Mantic Games and hope that they can send one out to me, because this is a shame. The models are so nice. There's such good sculpts on them, nice ideas, kind of as you'd expect skeletons and such to be, but just the leaning, myriad of ones leaning, and then that, no base, so that's kind of annoying. Still, never mind. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the furniture. So here's a sort of bookshelf armoire kind of thing. It's got a nice lot of detailing there, some little recesses, some knickknacks hidden in the shelves there. Looks pretty cool, textured all the way around, even on the bottom. Very nice, brings me back to the Hero Quest days when you used to have rats and stuff that you could attach. And the bookshelf, again, studs, nice wood texture throughout. Pretty good. Lots of books there. That's going to be a pain in the neck to paint, but never mind. Got some kind of sarcophagus, treasure chest, altar thing. Quite nice, obviously dwarven in design. Pretty cool. And then we've got a lectern of some kind, a bookshelf. Bookshelf? That's right the first time. Bookstand, a lectern, something like that. Nothing really on it, but still a nice little piece of detailing there. What else have we got? Oh, a throne? Look at that. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Again, nicely detailed, nice modelling on it, nice casting in this. Well, it does seem to... the plastic does seem to warp a little bit. You can see it's just bent up a little bit there. you can see that's not quite straight, is it? Never mind. We can sort that out maybe. A weapons rack there. Dwarven weapons of war and some shields. Looks like they got a riot shield there. Strange. So nice. And a well. Because what dwarf tomb wouldn't be complete without a well? Let's hope we don't find any tooks there, hey? Now we've got the doors. Again, these seem to be made of a slightly different plastic than the furniture. Strange. Doesn't feel as textured. It's interesting. And the next one, these could look nice when painted up. Again, some mold lines and stuff. I tend not to bother removing mold lines on my board game miniatures, just because, you know, they're not display pieces. But just so you know what you're getting yourself into if you do decide to remove them and paint this set. And there we've got a nice portcullis. Pretty cool. Again, pretty good detailing throughout. You can see some of the markers there. Nice. And then we've got a barrel. Roll out your barrels. Getting completely textured all over. Good little barrel. Some of the better barrels. Quite hefty too. Then we've got a table. You get a few of these tables. You get 2 of them. I think you get a few of the barrels as well. 3 or 4 of them. Sorry, I was just trying to look. See if I can see the bag. So again, nicely detailed. The underside. Right, and finally, just looking at the treasure chest here. A nice little piece of kit, and well modelled all over. And actually, the lid comes off. Nothing inside, but does allow you to mark which chests have been opened, etc. when you're playing the game. It's pretty good, that. So all in all, plastics for this game are nice. Show you about those leaning ones. I'll try and sort those out with some hot water. And actually, just looking over at the quick start guide, and out on the back, reposing your miniatures. You may find that a few of your new miniatures have become slightly bent on their way to you. Slightly bent. Okay. There's nothing to worry about, and they can be easily bent back. Simply hold the miniature under hot water or in front of a hairdryer for 10 seconds and you'll find that the plastic becomes far more flexible. And that's true. So we'll get to that later, and I shall try and fix those. However, this fellow I am going to have to either contact Mantic about, which, considering I live in China, might be a little bit of a pain in the backside. Or I can make a base for myself. Right, just one more thing on the miniatures front. I thought I would show you a comparison next to some of the miniatures from Descent. So you can see for size, they're a wee bit bigger, a little bit bigger for the heroes. There, and if I just move those out of the way, so you can see the ogres and the zombie troll. See that the monster is a little bit bigger for Descent 2nd edition, but only just. The hammer and the mace nearly level out at the same height. So, pretty good really. Pretty good size. Right, now, our cards. You'll notice that this one has "Open these first" printed on it. And that's because, rather helpfully, Mantic have identified all of the cards that you need to get you playing and have bundled them all in one quick to open pack. And you even get Mantic points, which you can do something with. And there you go. Woo, 4 Mantic points. I'll have a look at that later, but probably won't update you guys on it, unless it turns out to be amazing. So, there we go. We've got our cards here. Looks like extra commands. So, I'm guessing that these are all... Okay, there we go. Overlord cards, by the looks of it. Yeah, power crystals, so these are all... Oh, we've got a healing potion and some power crystals. These must be items. Some spells. There we go. So those are all the cards. Oops, sorry. extreme close up there. You can see the quality of the artwork on them. Again, quite nice printing by the feel of it. The hero rolls 1 additional dice when casting a spell that uses dice. Okay. Got some icons down the bottom there identifying what they can be sold for, etc. And again, nicely printed. A little bit thin, but not too bad. About average for your cards. I'm not going to go through all of these ones, but you can see that there are a heck of a lot of them. So you've got Overlord cards. Let's see if I can sort these out. Like that. Items. Healing potions. Haste potions. Battle potions. Oh, good lord. Somebody called the Alchemist. We've raided his shop. A runic breastplate. Spider silk armor. All sorts of fun goodies. You can see you get quite a few, don't you? Look at that. And then spell selection for those mages amongst you, of which I count myself a member. I do love me a good mage. Lots and lots of spells. You're going to keep busy with that lot, aren't you? And then it looks like some more abilities. And that looks like abilities for the heroes, etc. So kind of cool. Right, now, in keeping with the open these first decks, you'll notice that some of these big card sheets have got a bright red backing to them, and that some do not. That's because everything on the red sheets are needed for the very first mission, the quick playing mission to get you started, which is awesome. So you can open the box, grab that deck of cards, punch out these, and by the feel of it, yeah, they punch out really easily. Quite nice thick cardboard there. I think it's a little bit thinner than the ones used by Fantasy Flight, but looks good nonetheless. The print quality is superb. But you can grab those, punch them out, and get going immediately. Very, very quick setup for that, which is brilliant. I can't stand pouring through books trying to figure out which tokens you need to begin games. So this is a really nice idea, and I do hope more board game manufacturers pay attention to it, especially when they're doing dungeon builders. The other thing you'll note with these is that they have none of that jigsaw lock that the Descent games and Imperial Assault etc. have. And they have, as we saw earlier, these little plastic clips to peg them together, which I think is a nicer approach. I've noticed quite often that the edges of those locks get worn quite quickly, especially if you game a lot, which is a bit of a shame. Just have a quick flick through some of these. Got all sorts of different counters and tokens. These are bone piles, I think. Don't know what they do. I've seen them mentioned. Various bits of information, assuming for doors and the such. Look at that, we've got another little bit up the top here that has to be punched out first. It's nice, wound tokens. Oh, looks very nice, doesn't it? I've got to say, beautifully produced. And of course, they are double-sided as well, just in case thought that perhaps they weren't. They are double-sided, so there's quite a lot of variation there. Some little tokens here for something, not quite sure what, haven't read the rulebook yet. And then at the end, at the last of it, we have, slightly bent, but we have the Overlord panel, the Necromancer Overlord panel. I wonder if that means that we will get different kinds of Overlords in future expansions. And you've got a quick sheet for all of your mobs, all of your monsters, and their various strengths, etc., and what happens when they are hit, and how many hits they can take before they are destroyed, which is pretty darn nifty, that is. And you've got some helpful hints as to special rules at the bottom as well. And just one last thing to look at, if I can open this with one hand, which I forgot to open earlier, the character sheets, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so first of the character sheets, this is the villain character sheet. This is for Grund, the Undead Dwarf King. Wounds, etc., his abilities, his strengths, armor and that. they are very, very thin. Very thin indeed. I would be quite concerned about wear on this and curling perhaps, but never mind. Hogger? Zombie Troll Champion, okay. I'm pretty sure it's not Hogger, but, you know. Hoggar? Something like that. Zombie Troll Champion, eh? That's pretty cool. A spellcaster, no less. Nice. Elshara, the Banshee. The Elven Banshee. I'm guessing she's Elven with a name like Elshara. And they're always Elven, aren't they? Banshees in these games. Mortiboris, the human necromancer. Good for him. Love me some necromancers. And on the back of this one, you'll notice that he has a legendary mode as well. Oh, fancy that. Pretty cool. And then the first of our heroes, Danor, the human wizard. And each hero, of course, has a legendary mode on the back. I'll go through all of them. Madriga. Rodin, something like that. And last but not least, Olaf, the human barbarian. Pretty darn cool, guys. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's what you get in the game. That is the complete contents. It's a nice package. I'm a little bit peeved with the smooth criminal enacting undead over here, and especially vexed about this one skeleton warrior here who is missing his base entirely. But other than that, it's a nice package. The plastics are good, they're nice quality, lots of detail. I'm going to have great fun painting them. Lots of nice little bits and pieces, furniture and stuff, which has been done to a good quality. You know, it's a good pack. Can't wait to see how it plays actually. Might try and get a game in a few minutes and see how that goes. But first things first, I have to sort these guys out. So, oh, there you go, guys. So, hope you've enjoyed this look at the Dungeon Saga board game. It looks like an interesting set. I can't wait to get these ones out here. Can't wait to get a game in. I like me a dungeon crawler, and this one seems like it might be good fun. Some nice miniatures, nice map tiles, and just a generally nice feel to the game. Some thought gone into the layouts, and I hope that follows through into the gameplay. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them below the video or contact me on social media. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And I shall see you again next time. Bye-bye for now. Okay guys, just a quick update to my initial video. So, as you can see, I've given these guys the heat treatment and they are no longer doing Michael Jackson impersonations. That was just 10 seconds in just off the boil water. And then they're very easy to bend back into shape, and that's fantastic. So other than this guy, I'll probably have to put him in again because still got a bit of a bend there on his scythe, but we'll sort that out. You can see even the hero is perfectly fine. If you do this yourself at home, if you need to do it with any of your miniatures, I wouldn't put them in for any longer than 10 or 11 seconds. The plastic does get very, very soft very quickly. It's the nature of undead, I'm afraid. There isn't much plastic there to begin with, so if you heat it up, it will go limp very, very quickly. And the other thing that I thought I should mention is that this wonderful book box actually has, if you can, I don't know if you can hear that, it's actually got little magnets. You can just make them out there, and where is the other one? There's a couple more up along here. Anyway, it's got a few magnets in the cover here and a few little pieces of metal along this rim, a few other magnets, and it actually holds together quite nicely even with everything in it. It's got quite a good bit of force there. You can just So you can actually store it on your shelf like this if you want. Which is probably what I'm going to end up doing once I figured out how I'm going to store everything, because you know what? I think that looks rather classy as far as board game boxes go. So overall, good job Mantic. Nicely thought out, nicely designed. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to store everything inside this box. I also actually just played a quick game of it. I just played through the first mission, the quick start mission, and I've got to say, pretty good. Combat runs very smoothly. In spite of what you'd think, the way combat is handled is actually quite different, but actually works really well. So, just thought I'd give you that little update at the end of the video, just to let you know most of those issues have been resolved, except for, of course, this fellow's base. I've got to make another one. So, there we go. If you buy it, have fun with it. It looks like it's going to be a good game.